Hello, let me tell you a little bit about my Phantom of the Opera in a mirror project. It's way too ambitious, I know, but I thought about doing something with my mirror and I was on a holiday, so I did not really have the dimensions in mind. But anyway, I know it's way too ambitious and probably the end result will end up near just a fancy poster of the Phantom, but I'm going to try to think creatively because I don't have many craft skills. But that is where all these videos in this playlist are about, cheating creatively. The basis is this Phantom of the Opera poster I ordered from AliExpress. It's the largest one. It's 90 centimeters long and about 57 wide. I chose one of an image which could appear in a mirror. Also, I wanted to have as life-size as possible. Probably does not really add up, it's a little bit smaller than life-size, but it's the best I could do. At the end you see magnetic hangers. They are from Temu. And because I had to choose from 50 or 60, they are a little bit too long. But that has a reason, because I'm planning on building a frame around it. I could also, if I dare, try to cut out the figure, but it is a certain risk, so I have to think about. The other materials I have are these. They are way too small, but maybe I can combine them. And this could give a mirrored effect. They were each 125 euros in a thrift store. And to make a frame I have this. It's foam and it's self-adhesive, and originally it should be gold, but it's more yellow, so I could spray it gold. Then we have the basis for a mirror frame, but it's probably this with this, or this with this. But I have to keep in mind that after Halloween it has to be stored, so maybe foldable, or you can break it off and put it together, something like that. Well, I will get back to you. At the current modus the battery is flickering, so I have to stop this tape. Well, I thought a little bit about it, but to achieve the idea of the Phantom being in a mirror, I will have to cut out the silhouette or the figure of the Phantom, which is in front, and cut off the background. Then we'll have to put the Phantom on something mirror-like, and then put that something mirror-like on the mirror. I know how it sounds. But anyway, it's a kind of risk, because I'm going to demolish the poster, but if I want to have that mirror look, it's necessary. So what I have done, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is ready to slay the Phantom. Cute, isn't she? Anyway, I have hung it up to see where it should be. So I think it should be lower. It would be most perfect if this just comes out of behind the CV radiator. I don't know how it is in English, but you will understand me perfectly. And then some frame or mirror for him in the bag. The measurement of the silhouette on its widest side is about 40 centimeters. I think I measured here. So that means I have more options than I thought before. I showed you already the frames, and because I'm working only with a silhouette and a mirrored background, he could fit in one or two of those frames also. And I also have bought some mirror foil. It's 50 centimeters broad. They also had it in 60 centimeters, but that was 3 times as expensive. So I'm going to work with this. So the first step probably will be to cut out the phantom. That means that about here. And as you can see, there's not much in front except for his hand. So it would not be very difficult, I think. I have to cut very carefully. Then I have to see the height. As I said, I don't think the mirror foil should be longer than this, because it will be behind the radiator. But I have to see if it has to reach above his head a lot, and how its broad is at the sides. But I think the best is to just cut out and lay it on the foil, and let's see how it looks then. Okay, I have made a mark on the mirror about my length. It differs, of course. If I'm closer, and farther away, but that's my length when I'm in front of the mirror. When I create a phantom as coming out of this radiator, he will be quite short. So if you're in front of him, he's a little bit short. So I would prefer to find a way to get the face a little higher, so I have to find a solution for this. My idea was it flows back behind the radiator, but if I do that, it's a very short phantom. So I have to think about a way of having the phantom in a mirror, and for the in-between, between the end of the phantom and the beginning of the radiator, I have to find a solution. But what I can do is I can start by putting the phantom on the mirror foil and keeping a space of about 10 to 15 centimeters of mirror foil under him. And I have to see if I, just to be sure, keep of course some measurement of a mirror foil above him also. This give me more leeway if I want to change things. Also, I will be putting the phantom on not with glue but with tape, so if I decide to do something else, he can be removed. I hope it holds. Also, I have cut out the phantom with a little edge on him, so he looks a little bit more three-dimensional. So let's see where this all brings us. Well, I've learned something about this mirror foil. If it has a back, you see yourself in the mirror. Do you see? Yes. But it's semi-transparent. So, as you can see, if something, let's see, it comes through. So I have to have something solid in the back. And that points to the fact that I probably can't use the method of putting it on foil and using the poster holders. So I will probably end up having to use those frames I have. That would make it more difficult to put away after Halloween, but I could put it on a large closet. But their bags would give the effect of more mirroring. And another positive effect is that they, as you saw probably, they have an extra transparent plastic-like layer. So if the mirror effect does not come across, I could also put that hard plastic in front of it. Problem is that those frames are almost the largest ones available for a budget. And they are meant to be for 50-70, and the Phantom on itself, without the extra space I need, is about 85 centimeters. So I probably will have to use 2 frames and find a way with my limited skills to put them together. The width of the item of the frames would be okay because they are 50, and my mirror frame is 50, and Phantom can handle 50 centimeters because he himself is about 38 centimeters. So as you can see, during the process you learn and you improvise, and it's not like boo, 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 like you sometimes see, at least not with me. So let's get ready, and I will put the Phantom on the mirror frame, not the mirror frame but the mirror foil, and keep some extra space above and under, and I will try to find a way to put it in those frames I have shown earlier in this video, and I have to try to find a way to lengthen the silhouette of the Phantom, so he appears to be at least my height in the mirror, and has an overflow behind the radiator. This is the general idea for testing the layout. As you can see, it's not stuck very well, but it's just to see how it looks. It looks good, not too bad. As you can see, he's really in the mirror, and you can also see yourself still. And I'm thinking maybe such a frame, etc., will not be too bad, because as you can see, everything is a little bit crinkly, so it will be, if I put the extra plastic layer on, it will be put straight. Anyway, what I'm thinking is you would see it like this, about him rising above the radiator like this. Looks nice, but as I said, I'm missing some extra here. The reason I only taped it temporarily is because if I have to add something like black paper or something like that, I would put it under. So if I would stick it on and later have to put something under this layer, it would be a problem. So now I have an idea. So I say it will be looking something like this, but I have to think if I will put it, put him a little bit back to the side. On the other hand, it looks okay, like some Phantom in the mirror. This is the... yes, maybe this is okay. I will think about it, but anyway, this gives you an idea. Now I have to think about adding some extra centimeters here. It's the underside, so it will not be that visible, but it has to match a little bit. Well, it looks kind of okay. As you can see, there is still some mirror there. Let's see. Yes, there is some mirror there, and you have to see it without this extra piece of wood, so the frame will be longer, and this would be the effect. But what I'm seeing is that it has a... that's strange. I'm seeing myself mirrored in the plastic, but only a little in the mirror. When I first looked at it from afar, I thought maybe it takes away the mirroring, because without the extra plastic layer, as you can see, there is much more mirror effect. But I could try to clean up this very dirty plastic and see what it looks like. There is not yet a hard backing at the back. This is just a test case to see how it looks. But imagine this look, and then going to here, about here, yes. I have to see how the upper layer cleans up and if it's more visible. But on the other side, it's a funny effect to see yourself in the mirror in him. Yeah, I don't know how to explain, but okay. I see myself mirrored on the Phantom, so I have to think. First step is to clean up the plastic and to find something to add to the underside, to the end, under end, and then I will get back to you. The fact that I saw my own reflection in it is a bonus. I didn't want to say it at that time because I wanted to check it. But as you can see from this photo here, in the musical there is also a reflection of Christine in it. Okay, mine will not be that strong and the Phantom will not be in light, but then again I have a much lower budget. So let's get to the point. I could frame him like this, but I have a little problem with the part of this being out of proportion. He will be too long, so preferably I would end it a little earlier, so about here. So he will be exactly about my length in the mirror and not yet out of proportion. But I have to figure out how I can do that with not having to do much work on breaking down those frames. Let's see, what can I say? I reused some paper of one of Pim's projects, and the advantage is it was on the cupboard for a very long time, at the top of the cupboard where we saved it for use. But the advantage is it's mellowed down and a little bit dusty and discolored, but that only makes it a little bit more like the Phantomscape. I had to go over it because here was a strange pink halfway stopping thing, and it was either cover it up completely or have a half pink thing there. So I'm covering it up, and the border is now here, but not too bad. If the Phantom is a little bit shorter, let's see, about here, it would be okay, I think. Now I have to figure out how to make the frames fit, and I'm not that handy with saw, etc. So maybe a very sharp scissors, I hope, because it's plastic, the outside also. So let's see how it will end. Well, I ended up using a branch cutter like this, but it worked. It was not that difficult. I have to correct them a little, especially there, but then I could attach them and I have the frame ready. Almost ready. There's a lot to be done, but the basis is there. Oh, and by the way, always use safety goggles, because yeah, you never know what is going to happen to your eyes. Since the operations lately, I am very, very carefully, and I can't have something jumping into my eyes. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to glue them, but I think it needs some firmness also, so I'm also going to tape them. And then we have the general idea. I have now stuck a phantom on the mirror with double-sided tape. Just enough to keep him in place, because when he's framed, he will be put in place by the frame and the hard plastic. So it's just important to keep him from sliding down or something like that. So the frame is drying. So for the moment I can't do anything. If I have the energy, I might look at the foam deco list I've shown in the beginnings, how it looks, and maybe if I should paint it or spray paint it or whatever. Well, I tested making it a little bit more gold, the foam decoration, but as you can see, my gold is about the same color, so it didn't work. You did not see anything about it, so I'm leaving it as it is, and if it's really looking very bad, I could add some touches with black to make it look older. Well, I have in the meanwhile done some things. I will bring you up to date now. As you can see, I had to use duct tape because predictably the glue did not work that much, because they did not fit very well together due to my method of cutting. It's still not very firm, but then again you get the back, you get the front of hardened plastic, and as I said, hardened plastic, so the frame does not have to carry glass, so I think I'll get away with it. I would prefer to have used more tape, but since I will be putting on the decoration of foam, I can't use too much, because otherwise you get a difference in thickness, but maybe I can use another layer of tape because it's not that thick yet. So that's as the frame. As you can see, I also did the back. For the back I used the cardboard that was already in one of them. From the second one, that was missing, so I had to find a kind of cardboard that was approximately the same thickness, and as you can see, I have attached them together, but in the back you can see better. I will turn for you. I also have added an extra stripe of cardboard to firm it up, and since it's in the back you won't see that. As you can see, it's also not very good looking cardboard, but still it's no problem because you won't see it. As you can see, the frame is not very strong. This will be about where the poster comes, and then there will be thick plastic on it, which I, by the way, I hope you can see it a little bit. Let's see. I have 2 of those, so the plastic, I can use the same plastic, but of course I will have to find a way to make it, when it overlaps here about, make something over the poster, maybe a warning banner or something, to cover up the split between the 2 plastic plates, whatever, between the 2 parts of hard plastic. So what I can do, of course, is I can take this cardboard and use it as an example to draw on the plastic, that will make sure that I don't have to measure. I can make it exactly like the cardboard, and then it will fit. So it will not be a lot of work, but as I said, I have to find a creative way of the split which will exist in the plastic, hard plastic, to cover it up. I first thought of looking on the internet a sticker with breakage or something like that, but it's not available. I can't find what I'm looking for, so it probably will be a banner with a warning, or maybe a banner with Phantom of the Opera or whatever, but I'm afraid that without something like that it will not look very good. But I will keep you up to date. Well, I can honestly say I'm very glad I wore a safety goggle, since it splattered like mad, all kinds of splinters, almost as if it was real glass. And also, as you also can see, it splintered at the cutting line. Fortunately, it's not too bad on the item itself, but it cracked. I must admit, this stuff might be very old because I bought it in a thrift shop. So maybe new material wouldn't break that much. Anyway, I kind of have the plastic front, and as you can see, it is really it needs something to cover it. So I'm going to see how the completed list now frame now looks. Sorry, a little bit fuzzy, yeah, so please excuse my pronunciations. Well, it all came together now, and this is kind of the result. Now I have to pick the Phantom up from the cupboard where he is resting and see how he looks in the frame. And then when he is in the frame, I have to adjust the frame to be as good as possible, and then add the foam decoration in the hopes that it looks okay. Well, this is the best I could make it. I could not get it smooth because the frame and the plastic are not strong enough to push down the mirror foil. So this is the best I can get. Also, as you can see, I have some tape at the sides. Also, I had some problems because those clips you use to clip the back and the plastic in almost came loose, so I could not use them. So I'm glad I'm using foam, because now I could make a network of tape to keep it in and fold it around the frame, because here will be the foam fake decorative frame. So this is the best until now I could do. What I will do now is cover it with a bath towel and put some medium heavy things on it in the hopes it will push down the mirror for a little. Although with some imagination, from this look you could think there is some magic ripple in the mirror already. So yes, I always have great plans to cheat, but in practice I also always come across things that don't work as planned, and I always wonder, even if you are a very experienced creative person, that should happen from time to time, shouldn't it? But I never see that in the videos I make, so I'm honest with you. Yeah, you can see my struggle. I'm going to cover it, and next phase I will show you again. Well, that went faster than I thought. It works very nicely, the stuff, the fake molding for frame. The little push down has worked. As you can see, it's flatter, and the foam stuff works very nicely and it's easily cut. but when you have attached it firmly, you can't remove it without damaging. So you have to be careful with that. This is kind of a temporary, not really temporary, he is in place. But I want to create a barrier and a lot of things around it. But as you can see, I'm visible in the mirror. And the phantom is about my length or longer. So it has a very nice effect. Okay, it's not perfect, but for somebody with, as we say in Dutch, two left hands. Yeah. Okay, the phantom wobbles a bit. But with the barrier that will probably be less. So I'm now going to build up with materials I have, and in the future I might use some wall look item to make it look as if they build a wall in front of it. But now it has to be that the mirror has been covered with a CV radiator. That's the idea. So the phantom is kind of further standing behind here. And it's human length. As I said, he is taller than me. So that's the idea. So somewhere here is the phantom, and I'm going to put up warnings, including something here, do not enter, or something like that. So I will get back to you when the idea is finished. And as I said, for this year I won't be buying more materials, but I'm going to build it out through the years probably. Well, this is it, I think, for this year. As you can see, we have some mosaic flooring, which I bought for €2 in a thrift shop. It's thick linoleum. And I already had those two candlesticks and the candles just for looks in my living room, but also for photo shoots. I bought this one because I'm a fan, and it says warning objects. Well, you can read for yourself. It has two issues, not issues but pluses. I'm a fan, so it's for my collection, and it works in this layout. Then we go to here. I worked with two frames of IKEA, thin frames with plastic covering, which I already had. And I bought the poster, and it was, I think, 60 by 90. And I cut out the phantom because I wanted the mirror effect. And then I also bought the foam frame. Okay, it does not look perfect, but it was not that expensive. I have to check it. I will put it in. But during my travels as a creator, I came across a lot of things. You've seen them before, but all in all, okay, it's not perfect. But with a budget, it's very nice, and I can see myself in the mirror, as you can see, and the phantom. So by accident I also created the effect they have in a musical. And yes, even in normal light, it's not the light up from above, but even in normal light I can see myself and impose over the phantom image. So all in all, I'm very happy with it. It took a lot of hours and a lot of thinking. Oh, let's not forget this. I have used this to cover up the split in the plastic that covers it. And the creepy letters, they came from themselves because it the ink just went that way, so it did not really have a lot of trouble creating those creepy letters. And it's a white red ribbon, which I already had also, and the way I attached is a little bit sloppy, but that's the idea. So here you have it. the journey I made. Mostly with materials I already had in my house. Poo-poo, that was a lot of work, but I'm happy with it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like or subscribe. And remember, Phantom of the Opera inside your mind or inside your mirror.